Hi, my name is Lindsay, and I'm a junior at the College of Worcester, and I'm going to be talking about ways to master job interviews and make yourself look like a better job candidate. So, some ways to prepare for the interview are, first off, you want to make sure you have a really strong resume. So you can take them to different places like career centers on campus and have an expert review it and edit it for you, or if you have maybe friends or family who are really good at them. You obviously want to include different jobs and volunteer experiences that are related to the position that you're applying for and relevant skills and abilities. Also, same thing for cover letters. You can take those to career centers as well or have those edited by people that you know who are good at them. Some other ways that you can prepare for a job interview are definitely you want to take the time to do some research on the facility or place that you're applying. So you can look online, see what this company is like, what their philosophy is, maybe what their core beliefs are, and maybe even look into some other um, sorts of programs that they offer and just generally be aware of their purpose and what they do. It's really impressive to go into a job interview and know some extra information about who you're talking to and to ask them questions, even saying, hey, I noticed that you have this program going on. I'd be interested in maybe participating in this as part of my job, if that's okay, or little things like that, or just coming up with questions, extra questions related to the research you do about them is really impressive and sets you apart. And I've been told this by employers themselves. So that's definitely something you can also do to prepare for the job interview. So I also find that it's good to kind of prepare some answers to common questions that they might ask you. So, for example, you definitely want to know how to answer what your strengths and weaknesses are. So focusing on relevant skills and abilities, like I said before, and a lot of times they'll ask you questions related to the job description, asking you how your past experiences relate to the sorts of jobs that they'd be asking you to do. Um, so you definitely want to practice coming up with a good answer, though, to what your weaknesses are, because depending on what you say, they could use it against you, and it could be the reason why they don't hire you. So, for example, one answer that I like to use is I might say, I'm so creative sometimes that it causes me to sort of do things my own way, and to kind of go beyond the directions of what are given to me. I don't, not follow directions, but I'm so creative that sometimes I'll come up with different ways to do things that other people won't think of. So past employers have told me, oh, I never really thought of doing it that way, but that's a good idea. So kind of taking that so-called negative and twisting it to make it sound positive, like that I'm really creative and that I've helped past situations by using that as an actual strength. Um, I've been asked weird questions in interviews like, um, if I asked your mother what your biggest weakness is, what would she say? So definitely be careful of what how you respond to questions like these. So and you want to definitely be yourself in these interviews. Don't be afraid to give funny answers as long as they're still professional. And also be very aware of the sorts of impressions that you give off, even not just verbally, but non-verbally. So you want to definitely make it seem like you're engaged, don't seem like you're bored or disinterested. Little body cues can give that off. For example, don't cross your arms when the interviewer is talking. You can sort of lean in to show interest. You want to give good eye contact, different things like that. And, make sure you have good vocal inflection to show that you're really interested in what they're saying. So those are some sorts of suggestions to keep in mind. Also, be aware that the second you walk into the job interview is when the job interview starts. So the way you introduce yourself when they first greet you, even though they're not asking you direct questions related to the job, it still counts. One of the favorite examples I like to think of is I was told about a guy who was going in for a job interview, and his interviewer, I guess, was still finishing up from something beforehand and was moving around some tables and chairs so that they could have the interview because some event had just finished up. This particular man who went in for the interview just sat there while the interviewer was moving all these tables and chairs. Um, this man was a really good potential employee. He was definitely qualified for the job, had some good answers in the interview, and seemed really nice and all that sort of stuff. But the employer actually said that the reason he did not hire this guy is because he did not help him in setting up the tables and moving around the chairs. So just little things like that can really show employers, you know, how how willing you would be to work hard and how helpful you would really be, because those are the sorts of situations that really expose who you truly are when they're not directly asking you for help. If you still can display those sorts of behaviors showing that you're willing to go above and beyond, it can also set you that much farther apart. So just keep those things in mind. You can certainly practice answers ahead of time and just seem interested in the interview and act like yourself and stay professional, and it will make you a good candidate. That's it. Thank you.